Falcon fans, and of course, good old Atlanta Falcon fans. You already know what it is. You already know what to do. One time for the fan. We are back talking Atlanta Falcons football. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Man, we are all over the place. Big shout out to everybody in the chat. Big shout out to everybody checking in. Big shout out to Bodie 3000 who joined us
Bodie.
episode of One Time for the Fan. Big shout out to Bodie and big shout out to Miss Carrie. One time for the fan. But we also got to give a big shout
Carrie.
out to T Will for my ATL Sports. Let me tell you something, man. Now, you know, we're doing big things over here at One Time for the Fan. I gotta say, big shout out to the whole entire crew. But this dog T Will, man. T Will, we joke about it all the time, but I gotta be serious with you, man. Every time I look up on my phone, the notification is that for my ATL Sports One is live. And guess what? You live right now. You here with us talking Falcons football. T Will, former ATL Sports, One Time for the Fan. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well, man. Hey, man, I'm just following the path that you set, sir. Hey, man, I'm just out here trying to, snatch a few collars and, take a few names and build something, man. I'm trying to get my, Jack Spade on, man. I'm trying to follow the man, the myth, the legend, But we're doing okay, man. We're doing a few shows. We do a few. We do a few a week, just a few. We're getting there, man. We're making progress little by little, and it's fun, man. It's fun. Look at John and I did a show today. Matter of fact, hey, Lisa, I just talked to Lisa a little while ago, but John and I did a show today called The Morning Chop Shop. It's a show about the Braves, and we'll do it every Wednesday morning.
For those who do not know who John is, we're talking about the legend here. We're talking about the GOAT.
John, not from Out of Your Falcon Mind.
I was about to say John Smoltz. I thought you said John. I thought you were talking about John Smoltz.
No. Oh no! I'm not Jack Spade. I'm not Jack Spade. No, you're Jack Spade. You could do that, right? I'm T Will, man. But hey, John from Out of Your Falcon Mind was kind enough to come do the show with me and Chris A1 from A1 Sports, man. So it's great. As a matter of fact, Lisa and myself will be doing a show Tuesday night with a young lady, Jennifer, and forgive me, Lisa, I can't remember her last name. You can drop it in the chat. But Jennifer does Atlanta United podcast, and she's going to join us Tuesday night for a podcast. I think Atlanta United's first game is this Sunday. This Saturday. And so, she's going to join us, and we're going to talk some Atlanta United, man. So like I say, man, just trying to get my Jack Spade on. But we're not here to talk about football. We're here to talk about Jennifer Taylor. That's right, Jennifer Taylor, a huge Atlanta United supporter. We are going to do a show Tuesday night on Atlanta United, and should be fun, man. We'll do it around 8:00. Probably last about an hour, 15 minutes, hour and a half, and that'll be it. But again, we're not here to talk about T. Will. We're here to talk about Jack Spade and these Atlanta Falcons, man. And what
we're definitely not here to talk about Jack Spade. We're here to talk about the Atlanta Falcons, man. I'm just here to host.
I'm just saying, Jack. We hadn't seen you in a bit, so we got to catch up with you, Jack.
Terry, you're going to catch up. People might think this is your show, so we just want to let everybody know for my ATL Sports.
No, this is not my show. Everybody knows who show. Let me tell you something.
Here be like, oh, Terry's live. Hey, what about Jack? No,
Jack, let me tell you something. On every show I do, sir, the last thing I do is thank Jack Spade and my brother Eric Parker. So they know this is One Time for the Fan. Okay.
Yeah. Falcon fans, this is great when it comes to like the off season. Because you have content creators like Terry, even for John from Out of Your Falcon Mind, they had I wouldn't say it was their last show. I think they just took a little break. And of course, John joining you with the Morning Chop Shop. I think that's great because these are times where fans are just interested in just their sports teams, right? They want to know what the Falcons are doing right now, which we'll talk about that shortly, right? Because they have some upcoming off-season events that, of course, the NFL just recently put out, and these dates that we're going to speak about is very important to not only the fans, but of course the Atlanta Falcons, but the Braves too as well. Because John from Out of Your Falcon Mind can talk baseball. He can also talk football too as well. So it's great. It's great to have John, step away from talking Falcons for a minute to come join you on the morning chop shop. Now, Terry, is this something permanent where John would be on the morning chop shop? You guys got something? Is this a contract involved? Is there an end?
I'm not going to call it a contract. It's just something we're doing for the season. And, look, it's fun, and we're trying to have
up
fun.
To the Braves, too, as well?
You said what?
Is it leading up to the Braves season once the season starts?
Oh, yeah, we're going to do it all season. All season
this
long.
Is going to be great now.
Yeah, so we're excited about that, man. And like I'm saying, hey, look, I'm just trying to get my Jack Spade on, man. Look at Jack. You are the man. You are responsible for 2 or 3 podcasters creating their own and going their own way. You know what I mean? Obviously you had Chase, you got Bodie
doing too as well.
Shout out to Chase. You got Bodie doing his thing, right? And you got T Will. So Jack, you must be some kind of leader, man. You got to be doing something right.
I just, I love being who I am, man. I love this podcasting too as well. Even talking about the Falcons, traveling, of course, the Rise Up Tour fan club. We haven't even got to that as well, because fans had hit me up about the membership information stuff, so I sent them over to the Rise Up Tour fan club website and everything. So I hope everybody's getting their memberships, because it's going to be an epic season once again, on the road, traveling. But as a podcaster who not only takes the podcast on the road, right, we're going to do some bigger things this year, because we got Arizona in Arizona. We got Indianapolis in Indianapolis. Or we could be heading to Germany. You never know. That information should be out soon. They just announced, I think, the Chargers will be playing in Brazil, I believe, coming up. I believe it's this season or next season. So a lot of teams are already getting, their names called for international games this year and in the upcoming years. I think Philadelphia or the Jets is playing in, what's that, Australia, I believe, in 2026. So, there's some teams that's, getting caught up internationally. But just to be a podcaster who just travels with the team, I enjoy being a fan, right? Like, I enjoy talking to you, Carrie. Who else? What's his name? Sterling Woods. You know what I'm saying? William Amy. Like, they send me messages about the Falcons. Like, Jack, what do you think about this? We think about the team, like Yuri too as well. I just love talking Falcons football. You guys know you can call me. Your brother Eric Parker knows this too as well. He can call me to get a lot of information when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons if he hasn't heard anything, or he just wants to find out, hey Jack, is this true? And I don't have like all the sources in the world, but I do try to, reach out to some of the best people that I know that try to give me information. But I'm not going to be over there just, mooching off and hounding people. I think we do a good job here at One Time for the Fan, of updating people with news and information. And of course, when the training camp comes up, we'll be out there at training camp, like we did last year. 2 dates they had last year, we were there. This year, I think they're going to open it up to the public. And it's funny because I want to go start talking about some Falcons football right now as I go to training camp, Terry. A fan hit me up and said, we should just keep Kirk Cousins. Just make it easy and just keep Kirk. We have a veteran backup, right, who can help out Penix in that situation if, Penix can't get the job done. And I turned to the fan and I said, you're fast forwarding all the way to September. You have to get through training camp in June and July first with the fans being on that hill.
Yep.
Because it's a Oh, I see it right there, Terry. Okay.
Yeah.
You got a bot in here. That's what happens.
Something. Yeah.
It's a bot. Oh, I remove it from the chat.
Yep.
Hopefully there's nobody under 18 in here. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. But of course, when it comes to training camp this year, Terry, just imagine if Kurt was to walk out of that locker room, right? At Flowery Branch and onto the practice field. Fans would let him have it. At this point, there is no keeping Kirk Cousins here in Atlanta. I'm not going to be the rude one. We're going to get to the comments here in a minute. Chat, agree or disagree. There is no keeping Kirk Cousins here in Atlanta.
No, sir.
And I apologize for being, Jack, you can't say that. I mean, you're the positive fan. You want to see he's still in the red and black logo right now. He's still in that uniform. No, but what happened at the end of the season will forever live in Falcon fans' hearts to know that this season could have been saved. Possibly, I want to say with the way Penix was playing, if you would have put him in earlier in the year, get him a little more familiar with the offense, get him rolling around the time Kurt was injured, maybe would have had a better chance at that point. But to know that, we had a chance to save this season, and Kurt let us down due to the injury, waited to the end of the year on Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday.
To go and speak of these things. He didn't put it in his diary. He didn't write it in his journal.
He put it out there.
He put it out there for the world to see.
He put it out there.
And here we are.
He testified for the feds.
Here we are now, Falcon fans, in a situation where we don't let too much chatter get outside that locker room. To know that people inside that locker room probably knew Kurt was injured. Nobody said nothing. And we talked about this on previous podcasts when we heard about the Kurt situation since the Super Bowl, but we're just a little bit upset now because when my friend texted me about keeping Kurt till next season because of the backup quarterback situation, I said, no, it's not going to happen. I said, at this point, I told you guys to bring in Jack Spade as the backup quarterback. This shit would have never happened.
80 on the run. 80 on the run. Bare
One
feet.
throw. That's all I got.
Running through glass.
Come on, man. Bruce Willis type shit.
Come on, man. Come on.
All you could have did
come out to the code.
Nigga, I settled with $100 million quarterback like Kirk Cousins now. This is the situation you have. But Terry, just your thoughts quickly as we get ready to talk some more Falcons football. If Kirk Cousins is still on this roster, which the ESPN report, I believe, I'm going to pull that up here in a second. The ESPN report was Falcons look to cut. You got this one, Terry? Falcons look to cut. Expected to cut Kirk Cousins before his $10 million roster bonus due March 17th. Terry, it's February 19th. That's less than 30 days.
Yep.
That means some shit is getting ready to hit the fan here. Terry, Kirk Cousins cannot be on this roster going into 2025. He cannot be on this roster going into training camp. Terry, your thoughts on this before we talk some more Falcons football? Chat, talk to me.
I agree 100%, man. I mean, look it. Guys lying about injuries happens. Okay, it happens in football. It happens. It's common. That's not a big deal. But to go on Super Bowl Sunday, right, and have a conversation for the media and basically make your coach and your general manager look like liars is not only disingenuous, it is disloyal. And it was intentional.
I don't want to cut in there, but let's also talk about he did not speak to the Falcons too as well before.
And did not speak to the Falcons.
And he ran from Lisa Shepard when Lisa Shepard was trying to get some information.
That's right.
He ran from Lisa Shepard at the ping pong tournament, I think it was.
That's right. That's right. Didn't even want to have the conversation, but really dissed D-Led. Almost had a security tell him, look, we're not doing interviews right now. But essentially, it made everything that Kirk has done seem disingenuous and calculated, right? The interview in front of Waffle House, the swag surf, the Kirko chains, all a part of this machine to endear himself to Falcon fans. But we find out at the end of the day that that's not his character. That's not who this man is. This man
ain't no Matt Ryan. Tell him, Terry.
Not at all. He appears to be a chameleon, right? So I bet whatever town he goes to next, he'll probably be going to their equivalent of the Waffle House.
What, Terry?
And doing their equivalent of the swag circle. Right? Look it. If everybody's beautiful, Kirk, nobody's beautiful.
Kirk Cousins a chameleon, Terry?
Nobody's special. Okay? Yeah, he's a chameleon. Because if he really meant that, there's no way. If Atlanta meant anything, I sound like a jilted ex-boyfriend. But if Atlanta meant anything to Kirk, you wouldn't have gone in front of the national media and did that. Now, I know you did that so you could be released. I get it, right? You did it so you could be released, so you could determine where you wanted to go. Even though you have a no trade clause, it gives you more leverage, right? If you can go and negotiate a deal with anybody within the NFL than the Falcons trying to work out a trade. So I get
calling Shannon Sharp big. This is big.
No, man, this is calculated. And this is why this man is, has negotiated rich contracts, because he's shrewd, but he's also a chameleon. Like, I don't think, to me, and forgive me for saying this, I don't think there's a genuine bones in Kirk's body. That to me, what I'm looking at is the repercussions of this. Because if you can do this, right? You just gave a bird finger to Grady Jarrett. You gave a bird finger to the offense. You gave a bird finger to every Falcon that ever donned the Falcons uniform with you, because what goes on in the locker room should stay in the locker room. Kirk's agent could have done this. Kirk's agent could have had conversation with teams away from the media and said, look, Kirk was hurt. The media didn't have to know this. This was a double-fisted bird finger. You're number one, Atlanta. And I hope everybody recognizes this. This was tantamount to disrespect. Okay? This was tantamount. This was disrespect. Because what he did was essentially say, your coach is a liar. Your GM is a liar. Your president is a liar. Your whole team is a liar. Okay? I played hurt last year. I'm Kirk, by the way. I got an album coming out Tuesday. Kirk Flash. It's lonely at the top. Shit. Okay? That's what the hell he did. He pulled a Flash from the 5 Heartbeats. That rat bastard that he is. So hell no, he can't come back. No. And Kirk, you're disinvited to the cookout. Take your potato salad, raisin wearing ass to wherever you're going. Your pass is revoked, sir. No Waffle House, no cookout, no Magic City lemon pepper wings for you, Kirk, because you're a rat bastard. Ran over.
Terry, it's Jesus Christ, Terry. It's Wednesday. Save that for Friday morning breakfast with One Time for the Fan. You said Kurt's he's also calculated too as well with the way he planned this type of.
Yes, there's nothing genuine. There's nothing genuine about him.
You called him a chameleon. And chameleon.
I did.
Quite calculated behavior. So Kirk Cousins, the chameleon, seems to be his new nickname here in Atlanta.
Hey, Kirk Cousins is Cobra Commander. Damn it, he's a chameleon. He's a chameleon from Cobra Commander. He can be anybody. You know what I mean? He endears himself to you. He studies your customs and your nomenclature. And somebody said it. He's a culture vulture. So he can assimilate, and it looks so familiar, right? Because you got Kirk looking like dad, right? Looking like America's dad. So he must be genuine. No, they can be liars too. Okay? They can be liars too. Oftentimes, sheep, wolves' clothing. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think anybody here in Atlanta wants Kurt back in the Falcons uniform next season.
No.
I've seen a couple of people on the Instagram posts when Kurt recently just posted. I guess it was I don't know if it was a Hardee's commercial or like a Falcons video. I can't remember what it was, but some of the people on the comment section was like, Kurt, we need you back one more year. And then you can see the replies to the comments like, no, it's not happening. So if you don't want to get cussed out,
not to cut you off, he took his Falcon shirt off. The disrespect. He took his Falcon shirt off and he did it publicly where people could see it. Hey, Kirk, you know what? Read between the lines, all right, buddy? Read between the lines. That's how I'm feeling. Like, the disrespect just didn't stop at the interview, okay? Mm-hmm. You disrespected us there. You disrespected D-Led. And then you had the audacity, or as my father would say, God rest his soul, the unmitigated gall to take off your Falcon shirt and put on another one. You know what, Kirk? You can read between the lines, sir.
He also ran from Lisa
That's
Shepard.
all I'm saying. You said what?
He also ran from Lisa Shepard at the ping pong
tournament. He did run from Lisa Shepard because he knew what he did, Lisa. He knew what he did. And in his heart, he knew he was wrong, damn it.
And subscribe button. T Will's on fire. Lisa Shepard's in the chat. DSGB Hall is in the chat. And T Will, the most busiest man on YouTube. DJ Towns in the chat. Terry, my man's DJ Towns. We got the
what up, DJ Towns? What's going on, bro? What up, man? I appreciate it. Man.
Here comes all those YNs in the chat. Big shout out to DJ Towns in the chat. Lisa Shepard, Jennifer Taylor, huge
Atlanta
United supporter. Big shout out to Jennifer Taylor. I'm guessing that she's a United supporter. Hopefully, she's an Atlanta Falcons supporter too as well.
Yes.
DJ Town said, Terry, this is your show. You the man now. Sheesh. It's
Nah,
going
man.
down in a major way.
I'm just a fry cook, bro. I'm just a fry cook.
DJ
That's
said, Jack
it.
Spade, look at Terry. He's the captain now.
I'm on fries, man. Jack is still running it. I'm on fries.
I gotta get my shows up for 2025, man. Terry got me beat this year. But it's the off season, man, and it's cool because Terry, a couple weeks ago, what was it? Friday, it was like Friday afternoon. I think we couldn't do the morning show. Then we did like an afternoon show. Then you went live at 7. Then I jumped in there. A1 jumped in there. Other content creators jumped in there. Like 9-10 people talking Falcons.
Yeah,
I was
man.
still at work, so I had my phone muted, but I was able to talk Falcons at that time of the night where I wanted to talk Falcons. I was at work, and I just look at Terry. Terry's live. Terry's somebody that I know, so I can easily tell Terry, send the link. Of course, Terry has an open platform like most content creators that he allows people to, join the show. And it's not even like a special guest thing for Terry. Terry just has them on. Like, Terry, you might go live and you're sitting there with Mike Tyson. People are like, Terry, you didn't want to promote the Mike Tyson show? Like, nah, Mike just said he wanted to go live. Right,
Mike just said he wanted to go live, man. Let's do it.
Hey, man, it's super cool to have everybody here in the chat. Tag your Falcons friends. Tell your Falcons family. It's the off season. Like, Yuri, what are you doing? You're probably at Maestro's eating the steak right now. Sullivan, what are you doing? You're probably running the restaurant like you normally do so well. Big shout out to Sullivan. LaMarcus Boyd is in
Sullivan. What up, Yuri?
Arizona right now. Big shout out to LaMarcus Boyd, Rise Up Tour fan club. LaMarcus, let me tell you some stories about LaMarcus here. Really cool guy, man. Passionate Atlanta Falcons fan. This dude travels from Arizona to different cities to go see his Falcons play. Right? He doesn't care where he is. London last year, a couple years ago, he was there with us. LA, Minnesota, Detroit. This dude gets around when it comes to being a Falcon fan to travel to these destinations. And of course, the Falcons play in Arizona this year. When the Rise Up Tour went out to Arizona a couple years ago, LaMarcus and his good friend Stevie Correga, they were so gracious enough to extend their gratitude and their hospitality to a lot of the Atlanta Falcon fans that came out there to Arizona for the first time, helped out putting on some events. Arizona is a beautiful place if you've never been, Falcon fans. If you've never been to where the stadium is too as well, out there in Glendale by Phoenix, like there's everything to do in that area. You're talking about entertainment, gambling, casino, nightlife, everything. The hotel, the stadium, it's super cool in Arizona. Plus, the weather is beautiful. It's September, October, November, doesn't matter. But LaMarcus Boyd, his Arizona crew, big shout out to Lamont too as well. Like, these are the Falcon fans that keep the Atlanta Falcons fan base strong, right? And there's a lot of more Falcon fans like that too as well. Let's not say LaMarcus Boyd is just the number one fan in the world, which I'm sure in his heart he believes he is. But Dwayne Ruffin, Yuri, Sullivan, Lisa Shepard, you all are the Falcon fans that kind of build this fan base, right? We need more Falcon fans like you all. If you see LaMarcus, I think it was a couple years ago, he flew from Arizona to Detroit, then back from Detroit to another city, then another city back to Arizona, then Arizona to London, right? So it's like he will do this just for the Falcons. Lisa Shepard, as you all know, is another Falcon fans who just loves to travel, being around her Atlanta Falcons. So it's really cool to have these fans here in the chat, man. So big shout out to everybody. Let's go to the chat anyway. Lisa Shepard's here, LaMarcus Boyd. The Kirk Cousins experiment is over. Larry's in the chat. He said, "Nah, we don't want to keep Kurt."
Nope.
Sullivan is in the chat. We could have been in the wild card, and we could have been in the playoffs, man. He definitely risked the season just to continue playing. You don't want to be benched by a rookie, it looks like, and of course the injury, which was reported back during the. And Terry, we talked about the injury. We did. On the podcast, you said that the injury should be looked at a little bit more seriously, and we just, as podcasters, said, "Hey, he missed a day of practice, and he's out there the following day." Matter of fact, I was in Denver. I think I was in Breckenridge. Big shout out to Michael Nellums, Atlanta Falcon fan, Rise Up Tour fan club member. I was walking with Michael Nellums in Breckenridge, and I turned to Mike and I said, "Hey, Kirk missed practice today," and he's like, "Missed practice? What the hell's going on over there?" And comes to find out, that the shoulder thing that they kind of swept under the rug. Kurt showed up to practice 2 days later, played the game Sunday. Falcons got beat bad, and the rest is history. Sullivan said Blank is going to cut through that. Blank is going to cut that $10 million check. Lisa Shepard, come on March, buy Kirk Cousins. We're going to get to some upcoming off-season dates here shortly, so some Falcon fans can find out some key information that can help them get through this off-season. Eric Parker, diehard Atlanta Falcon fan, is also in the chat. Jamal D is also in the chat as
Eric.
well. Terry, what do you call it? Doing housekeeping? Is that what you do? Is that what you call it?
Yeah, call it doing housekeeping, man. Catching up on all these chats, man. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot.
So we got Kirk Cousins, the chameleon from Terry.
Mm-hmm.
We got Kirk Cousins, the con artist from the Dixon Way. Big shout out to the Dixon Way in the chat too as well. Falcon fans.
Dixon Way, what up, man?
Another
What's going
content
on?
creator. Check out the Dixon Way too as well. Talks
Yep.
Hawks, talks Braves. Man, Terry, you know I've been heavy on like ever since I got back from Vegas. I've been heavy on my gambling game. So if you ever want to, bring me on to your show over there and talk some Hawks and some Braves, we can always set that up too as well, Larry. So hit me up, man. Big shout out to the Dixon Way. DSGB Hall once again is in the chat. Kirk Cousins is a cultural virtue. Not the cultural vulture. That's tough. Bigelow Country Sports in the chat. He knows it's going down in a major way. Big shout out to content creator Bigelow Country Sports. 82 Monte Carlo said, "Let him ride out. We finna get right. If he finna get left, we got our guy." And it's good to know that we do have our guy too as well. The franchise quarterback situation in the NFL is something that we're going to talk about Friday morning on Breakfast with One Time for the Fan. Yes, set your alarm clocks. Breakfast with One Time for the Fan, 9 a.m. on Friday. So the franchise quarterback is big here. As you can see, teams like Kansas City, the Buffalo Bills, even for the Philadelphia Eagles, when you got your guy, you got your guy. Right. And it does help you build around that guy too, as well, because the type of talent this quarterback has. So on Friday morning, we'll talk more about why we got our guy with Michael Penix. So we only seen a little glimpse of him at the end of the season. Could have seen more, but Kirk Cousins was in his feelings.
Yeah. But do you think it was just Kirk though? Because I don't see. Here's the thing about it, and this is why what Kirk did was so diabolical. I don't think this was just Kirk, right? For a couple of reasons. Number one, the Falcons' doctor is not an idiot. He knew right away the impact of those injuries, right? Mm-hmm. So if he knew, Raheem knew, Terry knew.
Here's the cool thing.
Not you, Siri.
You gotta look at both sides of the fence here, Terry.
Okay.
If they would have said something at that time. And I'm not trying to favor the Falcons for trying to cover the injury.
Yeah.
But if they would have said something at that time, then that's like everybody's getting ready to go at you. Like, don't forget,
I get
6-3. Remember,
I get why they did it, Jack. Mm-hmm. I totally understand. For everybody out there, it's not a simple decision.
It's going down in a major way, Falcon fans.
It's not a simple decision. It's not just, Kirk's hurt and we're going to go to Penix. You got to look at who we were playing, right? Yeah. So you're looking at Minnesota. I believe that I don't know if that was
a chop either way.
The first game we might have played might have been San Diego. Mm-hmm. I don't know, but you're looking at some serious defenses. Do you really want to put him in there, right? That's number one. Number two, if you put him in, the Kirk O'Chains experience is over, because once those fans see that arm, mm-hmm. that's it, mm-hmm. right? Now, I do not think that Raheem thought that Kirk's injury was as bad as it was. I don't think that. I don't know how he didn't, but I don't think he thought it was as bad as it was. But it wasn't as simple as, okay, this guy's hurt, let's bring in the kid. It wasn't that simple. Right? Because let's be real, we don't live in a vacuum, people. We do not live in a vacuum. And if you go to Michael Penix and let's say my brother says I do. Jesus Christ.
Terry,
if you go to Michael Penix.
I'm in a chat with you, and you were sick the other day, and I can tell how sick you were from just being in the chat because of how you were speaking on the voice message. So if somebody would have told me, damn, how sick was Terry, man? He went to the hospital. Oh, man, Terry was sick, man. You should have heard the way he sound, man. The way his cough is congested. So you mean to tell me $100 million quarterback walking in and out of your facility?
Yeah.
every single day. Practice,
Yes.
throwing the ball, seeing him going through his reps, everything.
Yeah.
Training, everything that you do. And don't forget, this is during the season. So from about 6, 7 a.m. to about 5, 6, 7 p.m. he's there. Right? I mean, there's no half days, right? I'm sure there's no
No, he's
show
there.
up at 7 and leave at 11.
He's there. He's there.
Otherwise, in that walkthrough Wednesday stuff that they need to go ahead and get rid of and start,
And to Dixon Way's point, they got so much technology, they can see the velocity on his passes.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they knew. They were hoping they could get by, right? They were hoping they could get by. And I get it. I get why they did it. It doesn't excuse it. Mm-hmm. But I get why they did it, because again, if you go to the kid now in the lamest fans, like, because look, most fans who watch the game, they get that people get injured. They get that you can't control that. But to the fans, the casual fan who isn't going to understand that, you know what they're going to see? You paid $180 million for 8 games, for 10 games. That's it. And they didn't want to hear it. Say what you will. They did not want to hear it. Did they sacrifice the season? Probably so. But they cared more about how they looked in that regard than anything. And the world's not a vacuum. So I'm not going to judge them. I'm not going to judge them, because I'm telling you, that pressure is real. Say what you want to. I've never coached the Falcons. Okay? I've never gotten phone calls 2:00 in the morning. My kids never been at school getting picked on because daddy made a goddamn dumb decision and didn't call a timeout.
Although some may say you slightly resemble Terry Fontenot.
Stop it. Stop it. No, I'm not. But look, all I'm saying is they knew. They decided to go to Penix Lake because once you saw that arm, myself included, I was like, Kirk who? Kirk who? Kirk not gonna be here anymore. I'm just saying, okay? Kirk not gonna be here anymore. And that's exactly what happened. Once we put Penix in, the Falcon fans, he's left-handed, okay? Can we speak to the obvious? He's left-handed and he's got a cannon. Does that remind you of anyone? Anyone? Is this thing on? Hello? Yeah, and his name is Michael? Come on. You already knew what was going to happen. And it happened exactly how we thought it was going to happen. You put Penix in there, they fell in love with him. And he played damn good. The guy's got a rocket. He can throw it anywhere on the field. He reads defense as well. He played great. Hell, if he'd have had a defense, we might have been in the playoff. Too soon? Okay.
I mean,
I can't say that.
The Penix
if it wasn't for Jimmy Lake, okay, and Raheem's not calling the timeout, maybe we make the playoffs. Maybe we even get to the NFC Championship. You never know. But the bottom line is the kid's got talent, man. The kid's got talent.
The first half of that Commanders game, too, not calling the timeout going into the half, or the 3rd and 22 holding call down the field from Mr. Malone. Big shout out to all the Falcon fans out here in the chat, too, as well. You know, we're just enjoying talking Falcons football with you all. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, Amazon Podcast, so much more. Just follow One Time for the Fan on all your social media platforms. Debo Vibes in the chat. Tyreek,
what up, Debo?
Is in the chat. Jamal D is in the chat too as well. Dixon Way. Let's see you catching up here. Uncle Steve's Lounge. Big shout out to Uncle Steve's Lounge.
Uncle Steve.
You said, is it safe to say that T-Will won't be at the annual Kirk O'Chain Swag Surf Revival this year?
Hell
it's
no.
going to be hard to have him on the sidelines in 25. Can you say backup crab leg?
Oh, wow.
Terry, if you guys heard the rant right there about Terry with Kirk Cousins, you don't want to hear it with Terry and Jameis Winston.
You don't. I'm not even going to say anything.
In the One Time for the Fan show already.
I'm just going to shut up.
I'm not going to say anything right now with the Jameis Winston Super Bowl videos too as well. So Terry's like, get him out of here. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
No, not a fan.
But Terry, if you go into it, I know what's going to happen.
I'm not even going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Woosah. I'm not going to do it. You know what? Hey, at this point, man, I'll take anybody but Kirk.
Save that energy for the Hawks, man. They got 20-something games left. They got to get to the playoffs.
We got to do it, man. But if you got to get, you know who I wouldn't mind, Jack? I would not mind Justin Fields.
So, oh gosh,
as a backup.
Let me guess. We're just gonna move to the next subject here. Somebody's waiting for me to comment on that.
Oh wow! Am I gonna piss some folks off? Did I just piss some folks off?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. We'll move on. We can move on.
I want to say Justin Fields to Atlanta type thing here.
We're thought provoking here at one time for the fans.
Oh gosh, yeah. Falcon fans hit that like, share. Timothy's in the chat said, "Will we sign a cheap veteran quarterback to be the backup to Penix?" That may be the deal. And let's go to a topic that we was going to talk about here tonight, because the Carolina Panthers they're already moving early right now, right?
Yep.
There's a couple teams that's making some moves. You already see Patriots just released the linebacker. Dolphins released Raheem Mostert. A couple teams already setting up for these off-season events. I'm about to put up here in a minute. But the Panthers just signed Andy Dalton, 2-year deal to be the backup. And it looks like it's the backup for Bryce Young. Now, some would say that Bryce Young fell off the Carolina boat a couple months ago. He got benched, and then I guess they brought in, who's the backup? Who's the other quarterback they brought? I don't even know who the fucking quarterback they was. They brought in the other quarterback. Other quarterback was mid as fuck. So Bryce Young comes back in, has a turnaround season at the end of the year, and now I guess Panther fans are saying, hey, look, put Bryce Young back in for another season. Let's build around this guy. Maybe we had things wrong with Bryce. We got to get him the right offensive coordinator, XYZ, the right wide receivers, whatever. But they signed Andy Dalton to a 2-year deal. They locked up a veteran quarterback who's been in a lot of systems, who's been up here before in the league. He's been up here, Andy Dalton. Mm-hmm. He's not up there no more. Bryce Young is trying to take the step to get up there to where Andy Dalton once was years ago. Not saying he's the greatest. I'm just talking about where Andy Dalton was when he was coming out of college, and then, of course, going into the NFL, and where he was drafted in XYZ, where they thought Andy Dalton could have been. But looking at the NFC South, Baker Mayfield, even though we beat him with Kirk Cousins twice last year, they went out there and still won the division. So Tampa Bay's still the team to beat. Baker Mayfield, don't know who the backup is, but if it's going to be, I guess, Ryan Trask, then that might be who they're running with to stay behind Baker, keep developing him. I don't even know if Ryan Trask will even play a game in the NFL. Who knows? But Carolina's getting their team and their roster ready to know what they're trying to do coming up with the free agency and the draft. They can sign a backup quarterback. Falcons do not have their backup quarterback in the building. Saints, we don't even know what they're doing with their quarterback situation. It's possible they might have Rattler. It's possible it might be Ritter. Got you. No, I'm just playing. Just imagine that Rattler or Ritter on the same team.
Oh, where's Uncle Steve?
Be the Spider-Man meme, right?
I love Desmond Ritter. Shout out to Uncle Steve. I love Desmond Ritter.
Big shout out to Uncle Steve. But I think the Saints might go draft the guy, or they might attack the free agency, go get a veteran quarterback. But who are the quarterbacks available right now, Falcon fans? Go look. There's not too many. The biggest quarterback right now available in the free agency is probably going to be, and this is weird, Carrie Lynn.
Carrie!
What's up, guys?
Big shout to Carrie. The biggest quarterback, we're going to get Carrie, filled in here. We're chatting about one time for the fan, of course.
Can we give Carrie a shout out, Jack? I swear to God, Carrie is the most awesome person to podcast with. Carrie's on half my shows telling me, hey, look out for this guy. She's not even in the show, and she's looking out for me. Let me tell you something. If ever there was a teammate that you want to have, it is Miss Carrie. And I got to give it up. Miss Carrie, thank you. That's all I got to say.
I appreciate you, T-Will. I appreciate you guys both, you and Jack. So I'm happy to help you guys always.
Hey, big shout out to Miss Carrie. Thank you for joining us here on One Time for the Fan. Of course, we're just over here chatting in the offseason about the Falcons, and we got to the topic of what Mr. Timothy is speaking about the veteran quarterback that the Falcons should possibly sign. But if you look at the free agent quarterbacks that's available this season, or going into this offseason, it's bad. And even the
Yeah.
quarterbacks that are available to be possibly in a starting potential role, the only one really available is possibly Darnold and Aaron Rodgers, right?
Mm.
Nobody's bringing to the Heineke in. You guys want to see this? Okay, I'll show you guys. What's up, Tim? Big shout out to Tim, man. Don't forget, Falcon fans on Facebook, head over to YouTube, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Makes it easy for you guys to follow us here on all channels. Look at the free agents for your quarterbacks here, y'all. Sam Darnold, which is possible he's going to be locked up. Let me get this banner out the way so we can get Miss Carey involved. It's possible that he's going to be locked up with a team when free agency hits if it's not going to be the Minnesota Vikings. Sam Darnold.
That
right?
is a dearth of
Zach
talent
Wilson,
right there.
He's
boy.
had some. It's tough, man. Zach Wilson, he's had some ups and downs in the NFL. Trey Lance, come on, Falcon fans. Jacoby Brissett, possibly your best bet if you want to go sign a veteran quarterback that's been in systems that has no problem being a backup quarterback. He has no problem being a backup. He's going to come here all ready to compete, but he's going to come in here ready to help Michael Penix learn the system, get better, more familiar with different offenses. And that's where those backup quarterbacks like Jacoby Brissett, even guys like how, let's see, let me find somebody else, Joe Flacco, right? These are guys that could help a young quarterback like Michael Penix. Carrie, even this guy right here.
I'm still waiting on a certain name.
Terry's cousin. He could also be available.
Oh,
His name's
wow.
Jameis Winston.
Oh, yeah, okay, thank you. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for T-Will's
Super Bowl commentary too.
I was waiting for T-Will's favorite quarterback in the league.
I'm not saying anything.
Winston right now.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Justin Fields' name's on the list.
I like Justin.
Names on the list. Matt Jones on the list. You're Terry. Here's the problem. You're not gonna get Justin. Not just saying like in a disrespectful way, but for Falcon fans, it's like, hey, Justin Fields could be available. You already have Michael Penix, and we already been through this last season, Falcon fans, with he was available, he's not available. Remember, the Falcons wasn't even on his radar. All those calls, all those social media posts, all those, that he could be the guy or his agent speaking to. No, that wasn't the case. Because when the report came out, he said that the Falcons wasn't one of the teams that he even mentioned. Same for Russell Wilson too as well. We was all hype on the Russell Wilson train. I kept telling y'all about Future. He's not coming here.
No, I knew Russ wasn't coming.
Dirty Sprite. I already told. I can put y'all on Dirty Sprite right now. He wasn't coming here.
I knew Russ wasn't coming, but
you can't put Future involved with Russell Wilson. Yes, I can.
Nah, I knew Russ wasn't
coming. I know Atlanta.
Yeah,
I know Atlanta very well.
Yeah.
And they was Trent. You wasn't even going to get that man on the field without hearing the Russ. Bro, there was fans from different teams trying to talk shit to Russell Wilson when they saw him at the game.
Yeah.
About Future.
But that doesn't mean you can't get Justin, Jack.
Like, I don't think they want to go down that route. They don't want to have fans. The first interception Penix throws, the Fields fan base, here they come.
I don't know about that.
Is anybody yelling for Cooper Rush or Trey Lance after an interception next year?
They might be yelling for Jameis.
So get them on the side. Jameis Winston. You want Jameson at 2-minute warnings.
I'm sorry.
Fourth quarter.
Oh my goodness.
Teams up by 20. Penix did his job. Here comes famous
I think,
Jameis.
I mean, maybe it's a hot take or not a popular take, but I feel like Jameis would be a great fit in Atlanta.
Oh my
honestly, as a backup quarterback, you don't have to worry. Like, to your point, Jack, you don't have to worry about. You want a solid backup who could come in, just in case of emergency, but you don't want, or at least I don't want, any kind of controversy in the quarterback room, like how you mentioned. Maybe the fans want to see. That's the reason why I don't really want a younger guy to compete with him personally. With Penix, I'd prefer a veteran guy to also, not just that you wouldn't have to worry about competing for the QB1 spot, but more so as well to just, give knowledge and maybe teach him how to eat the W's,
Sheesh. Well, you said a veteran guy. So let's go back to this report. right? We're talking Falcons football. Let's go back to the
Oh
Ain't nothing
wow!
wrong with this, Falcon fans. Y'all got time. Ain't no All-Star game on today. Thank God there's no All-Star game on today. We don't
Thank
want to see that
God.
again.
Amen.
We don't want to see that again.
Never.
That's what happens when you don't put Jack Spade in the All-Star game too, as well. You got
Oh,
all these people
wow.
running around playing these mini games.
Talking about that game you scored 100 points yet?
It wasn't 100. It's like it was 50 in the fourth.
Oh,
I'll tell you
it
about
was
that.
50 in the fourth. Okay,
I'll tell you
that's
about that. Yeah, 4
That's
minutes
right.
left to go. Coach walked over. He said, Jack, I need you to save my season. I said, I got you, coach. I said, how much we down by? He said, we down by 48. I said, I give you 50, coach. I give you 50. Wish I did. Joe Flacco, Kerry, 40 years old. Josh Johnson, 38 years old. Which Josh is doing boost Nextel commercials. He's not playing no more. He's done. He's doing cricket commercials now. It's over. Casey Keenum, 37 years old. Russell Wilson, I think he's probably going to link back up with Pete Carroll in Vegas.
I think
You
so
never
too.
know. Jimmy G, between football and his OnlyFans, I don't know if he wants to play. Brandon Allen.
What? I'm sorry, what?
Brandon Allen.
I'm not even going to ask how you know about his OnlyFans. I'm not
He was
even
dating.
going to go
Remember
there.
the story? He was dating. You know the type of women he likes to date. I mean, everybody knows about Jimmy G's.
I just
private
didn't know
life
about the
off the
OnlyFans. That's all.
It's all over the place. That's all over.
Okay.
There's a joke that they had back in the day from him dating some, a couple women.
Jimmy G getting it in.
He's getting it in. He don't care about
He's
football.
getting it in. He's living his best life.
Jacoby Brissett.
Sorry, did we already mention? Oh no, he's coming. Never mind. Okay.
He's on the way. I didn't put it in alphabetical order, but he'll be at the bottom. Jacoby Brissett, guy you can look at. Teddy Bridgewater probably going to go back to coaching high school football. He just got called out just to go play with the Lions for a little bit. Carson Wentz.
That's who I was going to mention, and I just
Carson
saw
Wentz
him as an option. I mean,
you need a guy that can be able to go out there and play too as well. I mean, is he still battling the injury situation? I know he's been, a backup for quite some time now. And that's kind of held him back of being where he was. Plus, he's also, declining performance. But, we don't want another Kirk Cousins as the backup. Not a cheaper Kirk Cousins.
Oh, wow. Well, the reason why I say that, just as an option, my favorite option has been Jacoby Brissett. And I said that on I think it was on the morning show, the Beard Gang. I did say Jacoby Brissett, but then I got some, feedback from people that told me I must have not watched him in New England last season, that he was terrible. So
he had a tough time, but he also had a tough team. He had tough everything.
Yeah,
tough
right. They
fan
don't
base,
have
tough
any
team, tough position to be in. They drafted a rookie that damn near pretty even want you to start. I don't even know how you even got the starting job outside of the situation of you had a rookie and a no name that they didn't even want in the building. Gerard Mayo getting fired. I mean, his back was against the wall the whole time. Then again, in Cleveland, remember Jacoby won some games for him when his number was called.
So did Jameis.
Go ahead, Kerry.
I said so did Jameis.
That's right. So did Jameis Winston. But we're talking about Jacoby in a position where Penix is your guy for the future. You want Penix in the game like how fans expect him to be there. Week 1 through week 17. Only time Jacoby Brissett gets the chance to get into the game is when you're up 20, 30 points. And you have to put in your backup to take a couple knees, or like for Jameis Winston, sneak a touchdown. You never know. Right? I mean, he did it to us. Why can't he do it to another team? We're just saying, Terry. We're just saying, Terry.
I hate this guy, man.
You got Bijan.
Yeah.
You got Bijan.
Yeah.
He's literally Jameis' biggest hater.
Yeah. I also have blisters on my hands, but you don't hear me.
I called out. Cooper Rush.
I'm with Eric Parker. He says bring Matt Ryan back. I'm all for
it. At this point, we're looking at the back.
Matty Ice.
You either have to bring back Ritter or Matt Ryan at this point.
Ritter?
Oh, I love Desmond Ritter. I love Desmond Ritter.
Josh Dobbs. I mean, Josh Dobbs, maybe?
No.
I mean,
no.
At least sign him in the offseason so that way he knows
the
names of.
I remember what he did to us.
www.no.com.
Well, a lot of these quarterbacks also, got a chance to, put a couple touchdowns up on the Falcons. I mean, we played some of these guys before. Right? I mean, y'all want Daniel Jones in the building?
No. www.no.com.
There was a report coming out, and hear about this because we're talking about things that's going on in the NFL. Trevor Lawrence apparently mentioned that the Steelers might have him on the radar come this offseason. But then again, I saw a report that the Steelers might go after Daniel Jones to be the quarterback. So it's like, where are we
That
at?
sounds-
But the biggest thing about this is look at the list of backup quarterbacks. So Tim asked a question that is very important. Who could be our backup quarterback? You don't want to go draft the guy.
You don't? The
you have to-
Falconator says we can use our first round pick for a backup quarterback.
Oh my God, you're talking
No.
about pissing the whole fan base off.
No.
Here's the thing.
No, fire everyone at that point.
I'm gonna put this on my my off-season board right here. This is very important for the Falcons to nail in free agency, not in the draft. You have to do this way before camp because Kirk's gonna be at the building before the 17th. That's less than 30 days. You have to go get a backup quarterback for Michael Penix. That is very important. Just like the Drew Dahlman news that keeps coming out now. Now the Falcons reporters are reporting that is that the Bears and other teams are looking at Drew Dahlman for the free agency.
Yep.
And that's a critical piece to our offensive line because we kept most of our guys there together for the past couple years. As much as people say McGarry, he's been also on that offensive line that he's been here for quite some time. Him, Chris Lindstrom, Dahlman, Jake Matthews, Bergeron, who was drafted a couple years ago. Of course, he's fitting well. But Dahlman, we mentioned it on the podcast a couple days ago, Dahlman being one of the pretty much biggest free agent targets for a lot of teams.
Yep.
So it's for Dahlman to do the loyalty thing, to stay with Atlanta and say, look, let's run it back. Or say, hey, look, I'm finna go cash in and go get me a $56 million contract to go play with the Jets or to go play with the Bears. So Falcon, this is very important. And you can't throw darts in the dark in free agents or in draft to go draft a center.
No.
You can't. So
well, the question is, do you trust Hennessy to take over? Like, worst case scenario, Hennessy is your backup center. Do you trust him to be adequate? You know,
haven't plugged Hennessy as your backup center yet right now.
He played last year.
I know
Dahlman got hurt last year.
That was last year. I'm talking about going into this year. We don't even know, outside of Jake, outside of Bergeron, outside of Lindstrom, outside of McGarry, if Dahlman goes, I can't be the one to say, oh, Hennessy got the job. It's his job. It's him.
I'm sorry.
I can't be the one to say it. I don't think it'll be Hennessy.
I don't even think Hennessy is on the roster. I think our backup is Nuzeel, right?
Nuzeel.
Ryan
Nuzeel.
Yeah.
Maybe Newsflash can get it. Maybe. But I also have to look elsewhere. You have to look elsewhere. And that's where those centers that come in, that's played in the league for, hell, let's go around. I can pull the report.
I don't want to lose Drew Dahlman, but he does deserve to get paid. He's a very good center. He's a solid center. I hope we can pay him, but I did see he is CBS Sports top 100. Top 100 free agents in 2025. He's number
15 on PFF's report for top free agents. He's the second center on the list. And I think the first center is going to be retained by the team that that he's leaving. They're going to bring back. So Dahlman's hot money. He's the hottest target for a center right now. Kerry, I'm kind of worried because Bijan him and Tyler, they were cooking behind this offensive line.
Yeah.
I need them back there.
I don't want to lose. Even McGarry, honestly, had outside the Steelers game where he got cooked, honestly, he had a solid season. I was a little nervous once Penix came in because I know that's his blind side, but honestly, he had a pretty solid season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen that Dahlman can get up to upwards of $30 million in his new contract. So I don't know. I hope we are able to pay him but he does deserve the money. So I guess it comes down to if we're going to pay him what he wants and, or if he wants to get paid somewhere else.
Well, I'm glad.
Well, if we do pay him, who's got to go? Because I think we're still over the cap. So
we're going to have to do a lot of restructuring.
And some cutting too. Not only we're going to have to cut some folks.
Well, hold on. Let's go to our good friend Scott Karisic. He's not here joining us, but he'll be on the podcast soon. I actually reached out to Scott. He's going to be joining us real soon. But let's go to what Scott posted on his Twitter. Scott is a numbers type of guy.
Yes, he is.
He posted Falcons only have $5 million over the cap,
Right.
right? That's after the whole NFL released about the new cap situation that they have going on. It's what have been projecting this offseason. Easy moves to help them get some space. Scott puts down gotta cut Amiata. Saves 8.1 million. Extend Grady to a deal. Oh damn, he's got a text. Extend Grady to a deal that he showed down here below, which I'm gonna show the picture, which saves about 12 million. You got to restructure Lindstrom, saves about 10 million. You got to restructure AJ Terrell, saves
I was
about
gonna say
9.6 million.
AJ, yeah.
Extend Gary to a deal like in the second pick that he has below, to just hit about 6 million this year, saves about 10 million. Put him about 45 million there without that Kirk Cousins situation. So the Falcons can bring in a couple players. They don't have the money like the Patriots though.
Jeez.
Now the Patriots, they're sitting over like I think it's $100 million this year.
125, I think.
125 with this new salary cap situation, and the Washington Commanders is up there, and the Bears I believe is up there too as well. And guess who wants Drew Dalman? The Chicago Bears.
Hopefully he hates Chicago. Just saying.
It's pretty cold around this time of the year. It's pretty cold throughout every single season of the year in Chicago.
Yeah.
So Drew, if you want to be out there, Drew, if you want to be out there in the cold weather, I mean, we're a dome team as you can see.
Hey.
I don't know.
Drew,
Terry Pitch. Oh, what's up, Kerry?
I was gonna say, Drew, if you're listening, wings from Atlanta are much better than Chicago pizza. I'm just saying. I'm more of a New York style
lemon
pizza
pepper,
girl, so.
baby.
I'm just
lemon
saying.
pepper.
I ain't gonna lie. Now Chicago food. Now, hey, you get a Giordano's or Portillo's down here. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey man, let me tell you something. They don't have peaches at Hooters, okay, Jack? That's all.
Oh wow!
Right there, okay? They don't have that, okay? Just saying.
It's good to see in the chat too as well. People kind of looking at backup quarterbacks that can help us out here during the free agency for going next season. Joe Flacco, Jacoby. Look at the names, Falcon fans. When you leave this podcast, just take some time and say, you know what? Let me go see what those free agent quarterbacks are looking at this year. It's pretty bad. I think Ryan Tannehill's on that list too as well.
Oh,
it's pretty bad. Desmond Ritter's on there too.
Keep it going stop!
Here. Just keeping it going.
Stop it! Stop it! Desmond Ritter is not coming back to Atlanta.
You
want to talk about
Hennessy was gone. I believe Hennessy was one of the names that was part of the early releases too as well. Let's get to some dates here that Falcon fans need to know. Some key critical information here. That's what we do on One Time for the Fan. We love talking Falcons football. Terry, I told you yesterday I wanted to talk Falcons football, man. I just love this shit, man.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I just love this shit. Here we go. Will McFadden. Big shout out to Will. Carrie, can we get Will on the show? You think Will would be great to have on the show?
That'd
think
be
fans
cool.
want to talk to Will?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, let's get Will McFadden on the show. Big shout out to Will McFadden. We had Daniel Flick on too as well. Yep. We'll put together some dates for Falcon fans to know. Of course, the NFL put these out too as well, but it's shared on the Falcons website. Big shout out to Will. Terry Carey, February 24th through March the 3rd. Wait a minute. That's less than a week away. The NFL Scouting Combine in Indiana. It's going down to Indianapolis in a major way. March 4th, deadline for teams to use the franchise or transition tag on a player.
I don't think we'll be doing that, right? When is the last time we tagged a player? I was really trying to think about that earlier today.
I think we're at that tag pool right now. I don't think there's so many that we need to be worried about. I mean,
which is good with me.
Yeah, Falcons are pretty good at that. We have to get rid of, we have to, cut some players and make some restructures, but I don't think there's no franchise tags going on here. That's the cool thing about Art DeBlanc and the organization too. They don't do a lot of players with the holdouts, right? I'm not showing up to camp if I don't get paid type shit. Like the Julio move was like, wow, that was a big wow to us because we've never seen something like that here.
Yeah,
in a long time. March 10th through the 12th, Terry, this is literally less than 30 days as we're talking about this. Beginning at noon on March 10th, teams can now begin negotiations with certified agents of players who will become unrestricted free agents. Terry, remember this time last year, the Kirk Cousins news started to come out. If a potential unrestricted free agent does not have certified representation, a team's front office can communicate directly with the player. So, around that time, March 10th is very important, Falcon fans here and Falcons fan base, because that's about the time those free agent names will start dropping about who can be here and this guy's going there. I think the kid Jermaine Smallwood, I believe it is, from the New York Jets, who Jeff Ulbrich coached. is a name that Falcon fans keep bringing up to strengthen this linebacker core. So
I
look
like
for
it.
that name too as well this offseason, or maybe another center if
I'd
Dalton leaves.
I'd much rather hear him bringing over somebody like that than him bringing over a guy named Tack McKinley. So that's good with me.
Oh God. Oh God. Tell
Where
them
is it?
Please,
Where is
please
it? Hold
don't
on. Where
do
is it?
that. Please
Shots
don't do
fired.
that.
Shots fired.
I think it was Dambsky. Somebody put that out on Twitter today that they have a feeling he might try to bring Tack. I was like, don't do that. Stop.
From way down.
Don't do
Hey
that.
Jack, let me ask you a question. If you could go back in time, right? Let's just say we're the Avengers and we have the time stone, right? If
would
you could go,
Oh, I'm sorry. I think
you said what now?
I said I would have audioboard. I thought you were talking about the Super Bowl, but
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, other than going back in time and forcing Matt to take 3Ds and kick that field goal. Other than that, right? Which you can do, by the way. You've got the time stones. You can go to multiple time streams. You can go to multiple places on the timeline.
I like this Marvel universe.
Absolutely. Right. But if you could go back in time, 1 year ago, would you still, knowing what you know now, would you still sign Kirk Cousins? Would you still do it? Because you might not get Penix if you don't sign him.
So if the Falcons were thinking the way that I was thinking last year, and the way that they're thinking this year, I had called out the quarterback situation too, like how bad it was. I threw out 4 to 5 quarterbacks last year who could potentially be the Falcons quarterback because we were one of the teams who desperately needed a quarterback.
Yes, we did.
The Russell Wilson information and news kept floating around, so we'll throw Russell Wilson's name in there. The Justin Fields rumors and all that stuff was getting thrown around, so we threw Justin Fields' name in there. Right? I forget who the other quarterback that we was throwing in there too as well. Kirk Cousins was one of them. There was another quarterback. But if you look at last year, why were those only 3 quarterbacks being named in the Falcons community? There was no other quarterbacks, and they didn't know if they was going to get a Michael Penix.
Right.
8. We're going to the draft. We're going to the free agency before the draft. Right? Before the draft.
Right.
All the behind the scenes rumors that Terry probably hearing about this team taking this team. And don't forget, Terry was on the phone calling the Giants. You saw it on Hard Knocks. So what was he calling the Giants about? Maybe he was nervous about them even taking a Michael Penix or something. You never know. We will never find out. Maybe next Super Bowl, Terry goes and explains what the fuck happened that day. Like Kirk did to us this year. But they had to have some type of insurance of we need a quarterback. Of course, new head coaches go get their guys. Raheem did the same. But for me, would I have done it?
Knowing what you know now, knowing that you probably don't get Penix without him. Because remember, there were teams who wanted Penix that didn't think the Falcons would pick him because we signed Kirk.
You messed up. First of all, you messed up on the deal. That's the biggest thing to it as well. You gave this guy damn near half of Gwinnett County for no reason at all. When at the end of the day, you could have just treated this guy like a normal quarterback, could have been in the door, out the door. Even coming after the injury from the ACL too as well. So for me, would I have done it? If I couldn't, I'm going to tell you the truth. Look at the quarterbacks last year from the draft to the free agency. You do not know if you was going to get your guy. But they knew they can get Kirk.
I respectfully disagree.
They knew they can get Kirk, Carrie. They couldn't get Russell. They wasn't going to get Fields. And after Kirk was Ryan Tannehill. Where's Tannehill now?
I just feel like, honestly, us saying that is just like us coping with the mistake. Honestly,
in a way, it is. But if
it's
they
like
don't get Kirk
copium.
who could they get? Who was going to be?
I think you just draft the quarterback you want, and I think saying that you needed to spend $80+ million as a cop out is just BS in my
Now,
opinion. Like
it's the
that's
deal
just
that makes
crazy.
it
Who
look
does
so
that?
bad,
I'm
Barry.
sorry.
It
That's
was
one
the
of the
deal.
one of the
But-
worst sport deals in sports history. T-Will, come on. I know you want to coach.
Well,
I get it. I
If
get
it was
it.
$60 million
it may
cheaper,
be.
who
Here's the
cares?
thing, right? It may be. It may be. But let's be real about this. If the Falcons had not signed, because there was nobody else, right? You had Justin
There
Fields.
was no.
You had Justin
and if you
Fields.
missed on Penix,
You had
tell me right now, who was the quarterback if it wasn't Kirk or Penix?
No,
Who
you
was the
draft
quarterback?
one at 8. You draft or 5th.
there
No,
wasn't
8.
there
So
wasn't gonna so
It
you're
was
gonna
gonna
draft
be
what's his
me.
face? You're gonna
Me.
draft what's his face?
this was a quarterback heavy first round draft. It's not like this
But
draft
they
where
were
there's only
all
2
gone.
quarterback options. They were not gone. There was JJ McCarthy and there was Bo Nix.
I wouldn't have
We
I
picked
wouldn't have
before
taken
them.
either. I wouldn't have taken either. I wouldn't have
I'm
taken
just
either.
saying, Bo Nix just had a great season. I'm not saying that I
Bo
want
Nix
Penix
had a
as my
great
quarterback.
defense though, Carrie. Like Bo Nix, look at Jack talking about he throw 80 on. Oh my God, Jesus.
I'm just
Go, man,
saying.
go.
Well, look at Carrie. We can disagree, right? Here's the reason why, and I hear you. I understand, right? Knowing what you know now, you don't want to relive that mistake, and I get it. But here's the thing: if Penix wins us 3 Super Bowls or 2 Super Bowls in the next 10 years, are we really gonna care about the year that Kirk had if we win 2 Super Bowls in the next 10 years? No, we're not. We're not. Ultimately, we're not. Ultimately, it's a footnote in history, and we move on. Of all the guys that were in the draft, other than Jalen Daniels,
If the Falcons,
I'd want Penix. I wouldn't want anybody else, right? That's the thing.
So who is going to take Penix? The Vikings?
Vikings,
Because-
Raiders,
Raiders,
moving up to get him.
Broncos probably would have traded up.
So we would have ended up with who? McCarthy, Mike. What's the not McCarthy? What's the guy's name? What's the kid's name from the Vikings?
McCarthy.
McCarthy.
Yeah, Mike.
The kid.
Isn't it McCarthy? JJ McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
That's the thing, man. If there was more quarterbacks available, if this was like, Trevor Lawrence was available, Josh Allen was available, Dak Prescott was available, Falcons had their name in like 5 or 6 different, agents' ears about these quarterbacks, I can say, yeah, the Falcons had a chance to go get another quarterback. They put all their eggs in one basket.
They did.
And I'm looking at last year like, I see why. There was nobody available.
There was nobody else available, right?
Nobody. And Kirk and his agent did what a veteran quarterback who's coming to the end of his career, who can still throw for 3,000 yards, did what they're supposed to do. They overcharged the Falcons. They taxed the Falcons.
Fleeced us. They
taxed them. They fleeced them.
But Carrie, look, we
Straight
can disagree. Carrie, I don't think there's a wrong answer, right? Because this shit's what if anyway. So if you were to go back in history,
practice field in Flowery Branch come June.
This is Marvel what if, right? Matter of fact, this is a what if Wednesday. So Carrie, if you went back in time, you can do what you want to do. So you don't necessarily have to have signed Kirk. But let me ask you this: let's say you don't sign Kirk, right? And you just say, all right, we're going to draft somebody. If Penix is not there at 8, which he probably wouldn't have been, who are you drafting?
But that's just if though. If you wouldn't have been there, you can also move up. I don't know who would have taken him. You're saying that people that would pick after us would have moved up because we were ahead of.
Yes, because Denver.
But what if we would have moved up?
Who was going to trade? Who was going to trade with us?
Who's going to trade with them? That's the same thing. It's all what ifs. But my point is that I just think the deal is literally gone down as one of the worst sports deals in history now, honestly.
That is true.
And honestly, Kirk cost us a lot of money. He cost us a draft pick. Thankfully, not a second one after he ran his mouth again.
Yeah.
Honestly, and he only gave us 7 wins for what, 80 plus million guaranteed. So it's just really terrible. In hindsight, in a perfect world, if no one moved up in the draft, I know you'd say all what ifs and all that, but we could also try to move up as well. But if the draft fell how it fell, I would draft Penix at 8, and that's what I would do. Yeah, and I would get a veteran quarterback as the backup. I would not give Kirk Cousins $45 million guaranteed a year, and I would get my guy that I want for the future. But I get why they did what they did. But in hindsight, I think it was a bad move, and I think it set us back for sure.
You are definitely right, Kerry. I think fans will agree in the chat. It did set us back because now we're going into this offseason looking at the cap situation and how we can mess around with the cap to get back into the good because of this Kirk Cousins situation
Right.
and
I
because
mean,
of other things too as well. But
imagine if we had that money that we didn't just spend on Kirk. Or,
We'll have it,
you
but
know,
the thing is,
come on now,
we'll
Kerry.
we'll have it next year, right? So
right.
the thing about it is, it's not like this was a 4 or 5 year guaranteed
Right.
deal. Then
It
I
set
could
us back
see
2 years only.
right.
2 years.
Essentially,
Only 2.
after this year, the gig is up. We'll have money next year. We got a rookie quarterback. So if we want to splurge on defense, guess what? We can do that. Now we need to sign a few guys. I think Tyler's a free agent in 2026. He's gone. It's 2026, 2027.
I think we'll still be, depending on what happens, we'll still be on the hook for Kirk. Like depending, we owe him 65 million guaranteed, and I think if I know you hope that he gets traded. I still think it's like 1% likely. So if he gets traded this off season, we will have to pay $40 million of that and this year and 25 million next year. So we still won't be off the hook till 2 seasons from now. Like he won't completely be out of our hair until then. But I agree with you. It sucks, but it is what it is. Like you said, if Penix, wins the Super Bowls, we're not going to care. And I'm not going to care next season once we're winning games again. I'm not going to care about Kirk Cousins. He's already old news. Like, he's already I told you guys, he's at Disney World living his best life right in my neighborhood. And I'm just over here like, wow, you just really turned my Falcons upside down. You're just living your best life. Like, oh, sick.
Yeah. And Falcon fans, with everything that's going on this offseason, like, don't let the Kirk Cousins news keep you down, right? We have a whole, like 5 or 6 months of getting this team together. Jeff Ulbrich, Raheem Morris, the rest of the group. This is going to be an exciting time. Now, we put up some dates earlier, and we were talking about it here. Just want to go ahead and put up the rest of the dates so you all can see the key 2025 offseason schedule. Now, you can see March 30th is the annual NFL League meeting. April 16th, deadline for NFL teams to host a draft eligible player at his facility for testing. This is big around this week, the 16th through the 24th, because, that's when a lot of those names kind of get linked to the team that they're going to be drafted to. In the years, we've probably seen, some of those top 5, top 10 picks already know where they're going. Falcons sitting at 15. There's a lot of chatter about where the kid from Penn State could be going. Right, where Mike Green could be going, right, where a corner could be going. I'm just going to say it right now, and this is the cool thing about it, because this whole offseason, we can talk about what the Falcons need to do and what they don't need to do, but I think we can all agree or disagree. Like, I don't want to see the Falcons take a corner at 15, right? I don't want to pair AJ with a rookie corner. I think you take that free agency money, and you take that money that you have for free agency and you go attack the free agency and you get a cornerback. Somebody that's a veteran that can go beside AJ Terrell that can help out, because some of the young guys, they're cool to plug and play here and there, but AJ is getting to that veteran status too as well. He's going to need somebody alongside him to really, support Terrell Island, right? We kind of seen that AJ was doing his thing at some games last year, or damn near most of the season last year. And then you kind of seen on the other side of the field, a couple problems that was going on. So some will say, hey, bring back Mike Hughes. Maybe he'll be a good fit. We don't know. There's a lot of cornerbacks going to hit the market here shortly. And the Falcons got to make some cuts too as well. So that's going to be interesting. So between the 16th through the 24th kind of leads up to draft week. And then on April 24th, if you guys ain't got nothing to do, if you're watching the draft on NFL Network or whatever, and you want to tune into a podcast, well, One Time for the Fan will be live April 24th for draft night. Same thing we did in the past. We're going to have some special guests stop by, chop it up with us on draft night, which is pretty cool. We got some fans check in from the Benz, some fans that went down there to the Mercedes-Benz to go watch the draft. The Falconator, some other fans checked in from the draft. I think it was in Detroit. So last year in Detroit, Terry?
Yeah, I think it was. Detroit. Yeah, I think it was.
Now, where's the draft this year, the NFL draft? Terry, where's the NFL draft?
NFL draft. I don't know. I was about to say San Francisco, but I don't think that's right.
It's in Green Bay. Oh
Oh,
wow.
it is. Oh, okay, nice.
Oh, it's gonna be boring.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow! Shots
Best
fired.
of luck.
You're not
Oh,
gonna get
wow.
free hotels in Green Bay.
It should be
Oh,
snowing
wow.
too. So Falcon fans, if you're heading out
He
there to Green
said,
Bay,
"Wow, it's
enjoy.
gonna be boring." Okay, Jack.
Hey, I'm
I
just
just
it's
I
not Vegas.
want to say that this year's draft show, we're not going to have any shock factor. The last two draft shows, we've had major shock factor, shock reactions. When we drafted Bijan, we didn't expect it, and
That's
then when
right.
we drafted Penix, this
That's
year
right.
we're going defense. We're
Because
doing it.
Bodie, our draft announcer, will have the expression, his emoji, the emoji Bodie will put on his face. Will let us know. The Falcons got our guy. Carrie, let's go ahead and say this here tonight. Um, I believe the Falcons will draft a defensive player at 15. Terry,
They better.
they better.
They
Carrie, you
better.
want to back me up here?
They
I
better.
No,
believe the
T. Will
Falcons
and
will
I.
draft a player at 15.
I'm
A defensive.
sorry, Jack, but Carrie and Terry, we've decided that we're not going to go on the record saying they are not going to do
Right, right, right,
We're
I'm
right.
not.
clipping that.
Because
I'm
for
clipping
whatever reason, Carrie and I together are powerful. We got like Wonder Twin Powers activators, some shit. Because exactly what we said, which isn't a bad thing, but exactly what we said the Falcons wouldn't do is what they did, and we don't want to repeat that. So Carrie and I, we're not going to definitively say what the Falcons won't do at all, right?
Right.
You can ask us if the Falcons will draft a kicker, and we'll simply say we don't know, right?
Right.
We don't know. We don't know what the Falcons are going to do, but we really, really hope they draft a defensive player, hopefully an edge rusher or a linebacker, as I think those are immediate needs.
But remember, we don't draft by need; we draft by best player available. So maybe a best player available will be a kicker. You never know.
Look, we're not even going to play with the universe like that, Carrie. We're not even going to do it. We're going to say the Falcons need to draft a defensive player, and that's it. We're not going to say what they won't do.
Okay.
Because these are Falcons, and you just never know. Okay.
And I just want to go on the record. I know I've already done this. Even the draft night, I did this, but I just want to go on the record and reiterate that I am so happy I was wrong because I'm so glad Michael Penix Jr. is an Atlanta Falcons quarterback. Just saying.
Me too.
Feels good to have your franchise guy. We're going to talk about that Friday morning on One Time for the Fan. A franchise quarterback and what it means to their team. Because we've seen, like I said, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, and there are some teams right now that's trying to lock up their franchise quarterback, whether they're going to draft a guy or whether they're going to go try to bring the guy through free agency. Let's go to Seattle, right? Russell Wilson and what he's meant to Seattle for all those years, winning them a Super Bowl, and you know how good that team was with Pete Carroll. Now look at them with Geno Smith. At this point, I don't think they're trying to look elsewhere when it comes to quarterback. So look for Seattle to not attack the quarterback position when it comes to the draft, right? Same for the Falcons. If Penix is your guy going forward, assure Penix that he is not going to be dealing with competition going into camp, right? You can't go get Aaron Rodgers as your backup going into camp. That just looks ridiculous, right? Because people are going to expect Aaron Rodgers to be like, Aaron Rodgers ain't no backup. Oh, he's going to be starting week 1. We don't want that type of pressure. Mariota, when he was quarterback, we kind of went through that situation with Heineke and Ritter and who's the starter and start this guy and all that stuff. Kansas City Chiefs fans know that Mahomes is the starter. Buffalo Bills fans know that Josh Allen is the starter. Hell, there's even Jacksonville Jags fans that believe, well, I'm sorry, only Jarnell really believes that Trevor Lawrence is the starter. But for other fans in the NFL, you know, they're trying to get their guy. Look at the Giants. They are without a franchise quarterback. Could it be Shedeur Sanders? We'll talk about that. Drake May in New England. Is he the franchise guy? Because you saw what happened last year. If he was the franchise guy, they benched him, right? You had Jacoby Brissett playing last year. So, I mean, we'll talk about franchise quarterbacks and what they mean to their team because the Falcons have to build with something here. Matt Ryan gave everything to this team for so long. You have to get back that Matt Ryan type of vibe here in this city. I mean, a guy that you can trust, a guy that you can know that he's going to take responsibility, accountability for this team in the huddle and outside the huddle. Matt was that type of guy. Wasn't the big media guy too as well. Matt didn't have that swag surfing type of personality, but on the field, he was a go-getter. So I believe Michael Penix has that go-getter in him too as well. I believe he's a hard-working individual, and he's going to go out there and he's going to lead this team to some great things. Because looking at next year's schedule, you have to beat the Colts, the Jets, the Dolphins, the Cardinals. Come on, this is a playoff team next year. We're going to talk about that on Friday. And of course, one thing we do have to bring up, big shout out to Carrie. Is that you? Oh, that is Carrie. I'm about to say Carrie with the Manchester City. I'm looking at the pictures like that Manchester City in the background. And disappointing loss for them today too as well. Jeez.
Oh man, we're not going to talk about that. We're
But
not
Real Madrid
gonna...
ain't no joke though.
You know what?
Hey,
Both of my teams have gone through it this season. The Falcons, man, what? And then now Man City's going through struggles too. It's like, wow, I cannot catch a break. I'm ready for Braves baseball.
if you want some more struggle, I'm waiting for you to put on that Hawks jersey and take
Oh,
a picture
wow.
and put it on Twitter. But the
Oh,
Hawks,
wow.
they have a man. Terry, let me tell you something. I've been so invested into these Hawks games, right? Like it's the off season, but bro, I have shifted my attention to the Hawks. Like
They got a shot, man. They very, very low key.
They're going to the playoffs.
Trades.
They're going to the playoffs.
They are. They made some very good trades.
They are going to the playoffs. You can.
They made some very good trades.
That East is trash.
Well,
Don't bet on Orlando. None of those other teams. That East is trash.
I'll tell you what's interesting, right? When they made the trade, I was really hurt to lose DeAndre Hunter. But Bryce 2K said it best when he said that they didn't win the talent trade, but the overall needs of the team they got, right? So they got 3-point shooting.
Yeah, they got it with Niang.
They got it from Niang. Karis LeVert every now and then can drop a 3 on you. And Terrence Mann every now and then can drop a 3 on you, but he can play defense, right?
He's a slasher too as well. But you needed somebody to bring the ball up the court besides Curtis you can trust. You got Terrence and LeVert who can do it, and then Niang. I just like Niang because in Cleveland, he just stays there on the 3-point line. He don't do shit else. He's like, I'm right here. I'm gonna slide over. I'm right here. I'm gonna slide back over. Boom. And that's what it is. It's a catch and shoot type of move with Niang. I like for the Hawks. I even called the Hawks rep the other day. I was like, I need some tickets. I'm going there to go see these Hawks coming up in this half. And the Braves are coming back too as well. I'm seeing Myles Garrett post about the Braves spring training is getting ready to kick back up in a minute. This is a great time to be an ATLian, right? So enjoy the night. I think NBA's on tonight. Luka's back on the court. Lakers, Hornets. Like, it's the off season. I'm just excited to talk Falcons football with everybody. With the off season, like I said, it's kind of difficult with the shows and work and schedule. But when we turn on this microphone, we love to talk Falcons football. So tag your friends, tell all your Falcons family. This is a safe place to come talk Falcons. Special guests, we have a lot more special guests coming up too as well. Reached out to a lot of people. So be on the lookout for Big Low Country Sports who's going to be joining us soon. Scott Caristic is going to be joining us soon. Myles Garrett from Fox 5 who will be joining us soon too as well. And so many more. So, and if we can get Bodie back, he'll be a special guest too. So
Bodie!
Matter of fact, hold on a second.
I knew it. I knew Jack was about to take a shot. I knew it. I knew it.
Like
oh my God. And
turn the machine off, man.
Oh my God.
What happened?
Yep.
All right, I'll let him know. He said Bodie's best is coming soon.
Now, when Bodie comes back to drill you, and he will, and you know it, I want you to remember this moment right here, okay? Because Bodie's like my brother. He's going to take 3, 4, 5 shots. He's not going to stop. He is not going to stop. He's going to rain down hellfire on you. So
hopefully he doesn't stop painting that bathroom because
shit.
This weekend.
Wow.
Wow. Wow. Hey, Bodie. Bodie, that was this guy. Hey, Bodie, that was this guy right here. T. Will and Cherry had nothing to do with that. That was all this guy right here. Right here, Bodie.
Fine. Just need to stay healthy and start making their free throws. Yeri, man, I could talk Hawks with you all day, man. Zachary, Rashad, what's it? Zachary?
Ricochet. Zachary Ricochet.
Dyson Daniels. They had a game the other night. I forget who it was against, but I think they missed like 8 or 9 of their free throws and they lost by 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? And it's really big because those are some of the easiest shots to make when, everybody's standing at the line and you're sitting there shooting by yourself. No pressure, just you and the fans. At home, they're missing their free throws too. At home. right?
Mm.
So Eric Parker with the jokes. Did Nikola Juristic start yet? Hold on, is Bronny in the game? I didn't even get a chance to see. Did
Wow.
Bronny score? Oh
Wow.
snap! Oh, he scored.
Oh
Wow.
wow.
Oh, he scored.
Wow.
Can I just
Falcon-
real quick say shout out to Chris, our guy from he's doing Hawks Digest over there,
Yes.
so you guys should
Chris
subscribe. And
A1 forever.
honestly, yes, Chris A1 forever. His honestly the Hawks Digest show, like I really like how he like the little I don't know nuances, the little things he says. Like,
Yeah.
take your shoes off, leave your socks on, get comfortable. Let's talk some Hawks. He's really cool. You guys should check out his channel. Lots of great Hawks content over there.
Eric said,
No,
hey,
he's
big shout to A1. Hey,
Carrie,
big shout to Eric 1.
I'm gonna echo that sentiment. Chris is great. Okay. And Chris has gone, I think Chris started a month ago. They had 200 and something subscribers. They now, as of last night or the night before, got 1,000 subs. And interestingly enough, my brother Eric Parker was the 1,000th one to subscribe. But the point is, Chris is doing big things over there, man. Chris is doing big things. You need
Eric
to go check him out.
Jersey too. Big shout out to Eric.
Yeah, but you need to go check Chris out, man. Hawks Digest, Chris A1 forever. Go check him out. He's doing big things.
Hey, big shout out to A1 Falcon fan. Like I said, there's content creators all in this space, talking Braves, talking Hawks, talking Falcons. T Will, former ATL Sports, he's one of them too as well. If you're wanting to talk more sports after One Time for the Fan, you never know when Terry's going to be live. So head over to his channel, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. But yeah, Eric over here mentioning about Nikola. Hold on, Terry, can you pronounce this name?
I cannot. Is it? Wait, let me go back to it. Is
It's
it?
one of the Hawks picks that's he's still in development right
Jurassic? Is the D silent? Normally the D silent, so I would say Jurassic. Jurassic. I don't know. You know what? Let's see what Google says about that. Let's see how Google says to pronounce
Here comes the copyright strike. YouTube's waiting for it.
Oh, never mind then. We won't do that. We won't do that. I mean, I wasn't going to play it.
That damn Matrix over there at YouTube Studios. Like, what did they say?
I wasn't going to play it. Let me see. It is pronounced.
It's Jurassic.
Holy crap.
It's gotta be Jurassic.
It's Serbian. I know that.
Oh, it's Nikola Jurassic.
But I think it is pronounced Jurassic. I think the D is silent.
It's okay. He got more points than Bronny. No matter.
Oh, wow.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share,
oh, wow.
button.
Oh, wow. I'm not
even
getting that. I'm not even
going back and forth, man. Eric Parker's a fool with it, man.
Yeah, man. Eric's not going to stop. I can tell you, Eric's not going to stop.
He's not. He's not.
He's
We're
not.
a diehard Falcon fan. It's great to talk football with Eric. He said N2K.
This
Miss Carrie, want to go ahead and get to some shout outs before we wrap up the show. I'm glad you was able to join us today.
Yes.
Friday morning breakfast for One Time for the Fan. Carrie, of course, you know you're invited. If you want to wake up and grab your breakfast on the way to your yacht and talk some Falcons football with us, that would be great. But if not, then you know, I think it's like what's the, hold on, let me check and see. Hey Siri.
Siri, what's the weather like on
Florida
Friday?
Oh wow.
Let me see if I'm available. Actually, Friday's supposed to be cold. It's a high of 60 on Friday, so I'll be able to join. Actually, it's not a good.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a cold day on Friday. So, but tomorrow I'm not available because it's a high of 80.
Sun's out. Sun's out.
Oh wow.
Sun's out tomorrow. So
sun's out, guns out.
I'll be shoveling my sunshine.
Oh wow.
Carrie loves saying that.
Wow.
She said that day it was snowing here in Atlanta, and I was like, yeah, it's about 30 degrees, snow's on the ground, it's accidents everywhere, people stranded, and Carrie's like, oh, I'll just be shoveling sunshine over here in Florida.
That hit different, didn't it, Jack? Did that hit different? That hit different, didn't it?
It did, because at that point in time, I wanted to be on a beach somewhere.
I believe you.
I saw that Virginia area got about 3 inches of snow today.
Yeah, Tennessee got hit too as well. See, Tennessee by Vanderbilt University got hit. So
that's crazy. It's about spring break weather almost. I mean, we're basically in March. What's going on?
I mean, Terry, what was it today? Like 35, 37 or something?
30 something. Yeah, I know it was cold. I know T. Will didn't go outside.
Jeez.
I know it was cold.
And apparently there was a tornado that ripped through here like the past 48 hours ago or some shit. Like,
yeah. So I didn't have power all day. When did that hit? Sunday? I didn't have power all day.
Sunday.
Yeah. So that
you did pay your bill though, right?
I did pay the bill. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. As a matter of fact, we wouldn't have power. I wouldn't have power now if I didn't pay it. So just saying. Just saying.
We're slowly throwing Terry into the Bodie jokes. We're
it's
slowly
okay.
throwing
It's
Terry into as well.
Keep them coming. Keep them. Hey, I want to shout out Carlo right quick, Jack. I don't think I told you this, but Carlo actually wrote Tito's on our behalf. And
Good.
you know what they told him? We'll get back to you. But I just thought that was a great thing to do because we're always talking about Tito's.
Are you
That's
serious?
awesome.
I am very serious.
Are you
Carlo
serious?
Wiggins, fan of this show.
My boy.
Yeah,
He
that's
wrote
awesome.
Tito's. As a matter of fact, he sent me the instant message. He ironed me, and they got back to him, and they said, we'll get back to you. But I just thought that was a really, really cool thing to do. So I definitely wanted Carlo. I don't know if you're watching the chat, but hey, man, big ups to you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love. You are definitely a real one, sir. Thank you.
Wow. Tomorrow, but y'all spoke to Carlo. What Carlo said? He in the chat right now.
I'm looking for a semi truck of our Tito's.
So what?
I said we're looking for our semi truck backed up, full of Tito's and Tito's merch.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
That's
Matter of fact,
awesome.
you give me an idea right now. Miss Carrie, we'll go ahead and get to these shout outs. Go ahead and wrap this show on up. T Will, man, thank you so much for everything tonight, man. But Miss Carrie, the floor is yours.
Shout out to you, Jack. Shout out to you, T Will. Shout out to everyone in the chat. There's so many people in the chat. Can't name everybody, but just shout out to everyone. I see so many people in there. I appreciate you all. I hope you're happy and healthy. Hope you have a great off season. We'll be back Friday morning. T Will and I will also be on the Beer Gang tomorrow morning, 10:15 a.m. So you can catch us over there.
Yep.
And hope you have a great rest of your week. Thank you, guys.
An amazing rest of your week. Amazing.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. T Will.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, the beautiful thing about being in this business is you get to make so many relationships with so many people, right? And anybody who tells you that they succeeded by themselves is just lying. I've had so many people pour into me from everyone in this panel. Mr. Jack Spade, first and foremost, Miss Carrie, they work tirelessly with us and support all of us and just give us feedback. Anytime I call Jack, it's always positive. Jack is the most positive person that I know, right? I could call Jack after nuclear holocaust and he'd be like, hey man, at least we're still alive. Like that is Jack Spade.
Oh, wow.
And that is real Jack Spade right there. So
awesome.
I gotta give Miss props. I gotta give Carrie. Carrie is a tireless worker, right? Carrie will get off this podcast tonight and be looking up stuff for us to use tomorrow. Like that's just what she does. That's who she is. Love her. Gotta thank her. Gotta thank Bodie 3000. Bodie is hilarious. Bodie keeps it real, and Bodie's that dude, man. Bodie's always honest. There's so many people I want to thank, man. Chris,
excuse me, Tilo. I don't want you to forget Ladarius. I'm sorry.
I will never forget Ladarius.
Okay,
because
just
Ladarius is a thorn in my side. I love him, but he's a thorn in my side. Okay, I said it. I know you're gonna have something to say tomorrow. I know you're gonna have something to say. I said it. Ladarius is a thorn in my side, but he is still my bro. We are all a part of the Beard Gang. Which, by the way, we're gonna name that show. We're gonna name our show. We will have an official name for you, if not tomorrow, next week. But anyway,
because I don't have a
beard? And no, Eric, Ladarius is not my blood brother, but he is my podcast brother. He knows what I mean. Eric is my blood brother. Anyway, and I got to thank Eric Parker. But thanks to the whole Beard Gang. Thanks to Chris A1. Thanks to Berto. Thanks to Smitty. Thanks to Big Low. Thanks to Uncle Steve. Thank you to Lisa Shepard, right? Because
yes,
Lisa's always reaching out. You guys don't see the conversation that Lisa and I have, but Lisa's always reaching out, always encouraging me, always checking me on my spelling. I know, Lisa, I'm terrible. And just thank you. Thank you. Thank you to everyone who supports me, because if you think you can do this alone, you just can't. You will not survive. So thank you. Thank you to everyone in this chat. I have relationships with a lot of you. You guys reach out to me. You encourage me. thank you so much, because it takes that. And Jack, most of all, thank you, brother, because you're always supporting and always uplifting, and I can't thank you enough. I've never met anybody like you, and I appreciate you. And thank you to my brother, man. I wouldn't be here without him. With that being said, guys, I got to thank God. I appreciate you. Thank you, Lord, for putting me in this position. And last but not least, I can be seen on this channel Sunday night, Wednesday night, also Friday morning, which we will have. And also, I have a show. Big Low and I have a show tomorrow at 9 a.m. So it's going to be Falcons. We'll do it until about 10:15.
You and Big Low have a show at 9 a.m. You're supposed to be cutting the grass. So
Hey,
wow.
damn.
What's
okay.
he doing? Mobile?
Okay.
What
And
a speech, T. Will. What a speech.
Last but not least, while Jack is out here assassinating folks, shout out to my wife Kim, who puts up with me, who puts up with a lot, and my kids and my family. Anyway, guys, I can also be reached at For My ATL Sports 1. Please like, share, and subscribe, as it does put us in the algorithm and allows us to bring you more content. And there, I said it, Jack. Sorry to be so long-winded. It's on you, sir.
We're finna find out how you're doing this show.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Oh wow! He's not gonna answer you.
You guys are supposed to be golfing tomorrow, or what?
He's gonna have to.
Oh wow! Okay.
No, we're gonna find out.
Oh wow!
Because I told you I got some people coming in this weekend, and that yard can't be that yard can't be like that. All right, go ahead.
Oh wow!
He said, "Drop me that stream."
I don't think he's gonna answer you. I think you're getting the voicemail treatment.
Falcon fans hit that like this.
Yeah, Kim is a real one.
This is the voicemail treatment. The Falcon is in the chat. Hell of a shout out, Terry. Stand ovation. You can't follow that up, Jack. I know. I'm just gonna say bye and rise up. I can't. I say rise up and we end the show. That's how you followed it up.
I mean, wow. I'm speechless. It's like after Kendrick just put on that Super Bowl performance.
Oh man,
show. Like,
come on,
wow,
man.
you just dropped the mic.
No,
I mean, wow, you really just gave a speech right there.
No, man, I'm just thanking everybody. Look, you can't do this by yourself. You cannot do this alone. And if you think you can do this alone, we work better together. And I'm just saying, I appreciate the love from all of you guys. Last year was probably the best, most terrible year of my life. It sucked ass and Cheetos, but I got through it.
And I got through it. What?
It sucked ass and Cheetos.
I've never heard somebody say that before.
Look, my mom died. I had heart attacks, and if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have gotten through it. And I'm not just saying that. I'm being legit. Look, so many people called and checked on me. So many people sent messages. So many people said, T. Will, we got you. And that shit means a lot. And if you don't understand it, you will one day. You will, because everybody's going to go through that. So when I say that, I'm not trying to have a moment. I'm just saying, thank you guys.
No, you had a moment without trying to have a moment, is my point. I'm not saying it wasn't real. I mean, that literally was a great,
I just appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And it meant so much to me. There's so many people that I can't thank everybody, but I really appreciate you guys.
No, that's real.
Because you don't understand what it's like. Like, my mom was everything. Okay. My mom was everything. And I think about her every day. But every day that I think about her, I think about Carrie checking on me. I think about Jack checking on me. I think about Vinny sending me messages. I think about everybody in this chat that at one time or another has just sent me a little bit of sunshine. And you'd be surprised at how much you need that when you go through something like that. When it ain't enough, when the songs don't matter, right? The songs that you listen to comfort you, they don't matter. The movies that you watch to comfort you, they don't matter, right? All the shit that you do to comfort you, it doesn't matter, because you got this gaping, sucking chest wound in your heart. You need some sunshine, man. And I just appreciate you guys. And that's it, because goddamn it, you guys are going to make me get emotional. But thank you. I appreciate it. I really do.
You're awesome, Terry.
Shit, I'm getting ready to cry myself. I guess we're going to say
right. I'm so glad I'm not on camera right now, because I'm tearing up.
I'm about to take another shot and say, Terry, keep going.
Wow.
Tito's.
Take a shot every time T. Will makes you cry.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh
Eric's in the
man.
chat.
I'm with
my
Lisa
brother-
though. You got 1,000 shows. Literally, I think you're gonna surpass. What show number are we on for One Time for the Fan? I think you're gonna surpass One Time for the
cleared
Fan.
that. He's cleared that. Like
No
back in
way,
November.
really?
I don't think I have. I don't think I
How many-
have. I don't know. You know what? I hadn't checked how many shows Jack's done. Jack's done a lot of shows, man.
Oh, it's
No,
not
it was
numbered.
only like 280, I think, 285, 290. But
Yeah,
Terry
so
definitely gonna catch us this year.
You got me, Jack. You got me.
You definitely gonna have us this year because we do our Sundays, Wednesdays, Friday shows, but you're live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, about
Saturday,
8 hours a day.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday,
No,
Sunday.
no, I don't do Saturday. The
Poor
wife
Miss-
is mandated that I don't
poor-
do Saturday.
Poor Miss Kim. She has to put up with him with the
Yeah.
phone doing a stream meet.
She's outside
Yeah.
the door with the broom hitting the door.
Yeah,
Terry, you done in there?
yeah, yeah. That's about how it goes. That's about how it goes.
But it's fun, man, because Terry, you know it, Carrie, you know it, Bodie even knows it too. Other podcasters, content creators, you all know it. To just turn on the microphone to talk to the fans, friends too as well. Like there is a lot of first timers who joined the show tonight. People who's going to subscribe to the show later. People who's going to listen to the show later. It's just fun to be a Falcon fan, knowing that we are talking about this together. Lisa Shepard, I guarantee you, has mentioned the Falcons probably once or twice today. The Falconator has mentioned the Falcons probably once or twice today. So to know that we can all talk about the Falcons together, there's nothing wrong with that. The Falconator goes out there and talks about Mike Green from Marshall. Why can't we talk about Mike Green from Marshall? He's
Right.
talking about cornerbacks in the free agency. Why can't we talk about cornerbacks in the free agency? At the end of the day, we want to win, right? That's what it's all about. Eric said when
I'm
Terry's not on the
sorry.
show, he does a show about not being on the show.
Oh, that's great.
Hilarious.
That's great.
Hey, let me tell
I
you something.
can't even follow
When
that.
Terry's not
That's
on the
great.
show,
Not wrong.
he'll make you feel. When Terry's not on the show, you can't do the show. He'll make you feel like, damn, we should have did the show for Terry, just for Terry. Like we had the
We gotta
show
do this.
the other night was going to do it on Sunday, and Terry was like, "Man, I'll just the power situation." Remember Terry? I can tell this.
Yeah,
The power
yeah.
situation. Terry's like, "I'll just do it from the car."
yeah.
And it's like,
Oh,
do it from the
wow.
car. Like, nah, Terry, you don't have to go live and talk Falcons from the car. Take care of the situation with the house, and once everything's situated, we'll go live later on this week. But I'm sure Terry's sitting there like, yeah, man. But
car's
you
right
just don't
there.
understand. I can go live
Just-
from the car.
I just gotta
Like, he's
get
probably
it
there
in,
like,
man.
I want to just
I
talk
gotta-
Falcons.
I'm about that
Terry's not one
action,
to
boss.
miss
I gotta
shows.
get it in, man. I gotta
He's
get
not
it
one
in.
to miss podcast. He's not one to, he loves this. He enjoys this. So when you see Terry go live, he's not out here. It's not about getting the money or trying to be some big time. Terry just wants to talk Falcons
Yeah.
football, Braves, Hawks, and he knows that you all are listening and he knows you all are responding because you can see his channels growing, right? You can see the subscribers are getting up there. You can
Jack.
also see that Terry's channel is just getting better all the way around, right? So from everybody who has a space on their platform when they're talking Hawks, Falcons, Braves, Dogs, United, whatever it is, enjoy it, right?
Right.
5 years from now, 10 years from now, who knows if you're still doing it? Who knows if you want to still do it? But just enjoy it. That's the biggest thing about it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Eric Parker. Shout out to these Lakers who I don't even know. I'm about to go bet on this game in a minute. I want to bet on Bronny for 2 points, but I'm probably going to take the under on that.
Oh, wow.
Probably going to take the under on that one. You know how that is. But yeah, Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Shout out to Miss Carrie. Shout out to Bodie. Shout out to T Will, former ATL Sports, One Time for the Fan. Every Falcon fan in here watching and listening now, and for those that will watch and listen later, One Time for the Fan is from the fan for the fan. We will see y'all. Carrie, what you said, Friday morning at 9 a.m.?
Friday morning, 9 a.m. I do also want to shout out that T. Will's doing a new segment with our guy, John, from Out of Your Falcon Mind, talking Braves as well.
Yep.
I forgot about that. I don't know if you mentioned that.
Yeah,
I watched
he
that this
mentioned
morning. That was cool. That was
Yeah.
cool. I'm learning more about Braves.
He
Yeah.
mentioned that too as well. I gotta be careful. Terry's growing that arsenal over there. That group over there is getting pretty strong. I don't want to turn down that street late at night and get jumped by that group. It's like, oh shit, the Darius is over here. See Doubles over here. Shit. Oh damn, they got John from Out of Your
That's the
Falcon
beer
Mind over here.
gang.
Oh, God. Beer gang. They got a whole gang. Terry, they got a fucking
They
gang
got a
over
whole
there now?
gang, and
Goddamn,
somehow
beer
I'm
gang
allowed
down
it.
there?
Somehow I'm allowed in it, and I don't even have a beard. But I
love
I'm about to
Carrie.
say, is it beer gang?
She's an honorary
That's what it
member.
is.
We
What is it for
love
Carrie?
Carrie.
'Cause Carrie does not have the beer, so
right.
We love Terry. No,
You're-
as a matter of
you're
fact,
dead and
look,
bath and body,
Jack,
like, well, how does it work? Like,
we're changing our name. So we're changing our name. And we still got to vote on it, Carrie. So we'll probably go public with it next week, but we're gonna actually name the show because right now it's just I don't know, Beard Gang, T Will and whatever. But we're gonna actually officially name the show next week. So I like Carrie's suggestion. I'm not gonna share it yet, but we got to vote and then we'll do it. So stay tuned.
Okay, cool.
Hey. Oh shit!
Oh,
Yo,
shit.
you know what's funny, Eric? Sade said every time we do shout outs, it's another 30-minute segment.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I said,
That
yo.
was my fault this time. My bad.
But we just love talking Falcons. That's why Friday morning we're back talking Falcons. Terry, yeah, I go put these bets in.
We're out. We're out.
Carrie Terry, one time for the fan, from the fan, for the fan, Friday morning, 9 a.m.
Rise up.
See you then.